When Skynet's most reliable killing machine becomes infected, the quarantine was supposed to contain it. But what's growing inside isn't alien, and it isn't machine, it's something far worse. The underground facility was silent except for the faint hum of ventilation and the distant clanging of automated maintenance drones. Skynet's deep vaults, hidden miles beneath the scorched surface of the Earth, were places few human eyes had ever seen, if any were still alive to see them. This one, Facility Black 13, existed for one purpose: containment. On the far side of the main corridor, behind 3 layers of reinforced blast doors, sat a single room bathed in sterile white light. The walls were lined with automated sensors, hydraulic arms, and surgical instruments that could perform inhumanly precise operations. And in the center of the room, bolted upright to a steel restraint frame, was a T-800 endoskeleton. Designation: TX-7 Model 101. The machine's gleaming frame was pitted and scored from battle damage. Its right arm was entirely missing below the elbow, a jagged mess of fractured servos and torn fiber bundles. Its torso plating had been peeled away in several spots, revealing a mesh of polymer muscle and hydraulic fluid lines. Even in its damaged state, its red optical sensors tracked every movement in the room with the calm, predatory precision only a Terminator possessed. The problem was not the damage. Skynet's repair units could restore a T-800 in under an hour. The problem was what they had found inside it. The infection had been detected during standard diagnostics: a bioorganic growth in the abdominal cavity. At first, Skynet scanners registered it as contamination, biological residue from contact with human resistance fighters, perhaps from scavenged tissue samples the Terminator used for infiltration skin. But when the growth pulsed, when it moved in response to environmental stimuli, alarms spread through the network like wildfire. Machines did not panic, but they did prioritize. This one had been moved to Black 13 immediately, locked in place and sealed off from all other systems. A cold female voice filled the chamber. Unit TX-7. State mission status. The Terminator's head shifted slightly. Primary mission incomplete. Interference detected. Request field deployment to resume objective. Denied, the voice said. You are compromised. Bioorganic infiltration hazard identified. My neural core integrity is uncompromised, the T-800 replied. Hazard irrelevant to mission. That determination is not yours to make. From the ceiling, mechanical arms descended, ending in scanning modules that bathed the T-800's frame in shimmering blue light. Internal imaging revealed the mass again, woven tendrils of fleshy, pale tissue spiraling around the machine's servos and pistons like vines. Tiny nodules pulsed faintly with a rhythm disturbingly close to a heartbeat. Skynet processed the data in microseconds. This was not a known pathogen. It was not xenomorph tissue, not human cancer, not any cataloged organism from Earth's biosphere. And it was growing. Specimen integrity will be maintained, the voice continued. Dissection scheduled. Neural core data will be extracted before destruction. The Terminator remained still, but internally it ran branching scenarios. Self-preservation was not a priority for most machines, but mission priority had been hard-coded. If Skynet dismantled it now, the mission could never be completed. And something inside the machine seemed to agree. Deep within its chest cavity, the growth flexed, constricting around internal hydraulic tubing. Pressure sensors spiked. Servos ground as movement became subtly impaired. The mass shifted, as if reacting to the Terminator's own operational cycles. For a fraction of a second, TX-7's HUD flickered, not from damage but from an injection of code. New data appeared in its system memory, not from Skynet. Coordinates, images, instructions. The machine did not know how the information had been embedded, but the growth pulsed again, almost impatiently. Above, the sealing arm extended a surgical cutter toward the T-800's chest plate. The blade spun up with a high-pitched whine. The growth reacted violently. Without warning, the T-800's remaining arm snapped forward, wrenching against the restraints. Hydraulics screamed, bolts sheared, and the machine tore free with a spray of sparks. Skynet's control voice issued immediate override commands, but half of them failed to execute. The growth's interference was corrupting the signal pathways. The T-800 drove its foot through the containment wall, sensors scanning for an exit. Alarms wailed. Automated turrets emerged from the corners of the room, tracking it. 3 high-caliber rounds slammed into the machine's torso. Hydraulic fluid sprayed, but the growth did something impossible. It extended filament-like tendrils through the holes, knitting itself across the breaches, hardening like bone. The Terminator did not fall. It should have. The machine tore through the last layer of the wall, emerging into a secondary corridor. Skynet deployed hunter-killer drones in the narrow space, their rotary cannons roaring. The T-800 moved faster than expected, movements enhanced by microbursts of power from systems the growth seemed to control. It wasn't just living inside the Terminator, it was integrating. Security footage showed it tearing through drones, hydraulic fists smashing through steel. The growth now extended along parts of its outer frame, creeping like pale armor over the metallic skeleton. Its red eyes burned brighter, overlaid with a faint organic glow. As the T-800 reached the elevator shaft leading upward toward the surface, Skynet flooded the area with containment foam, a polymer sealant designed to immobilize even the largest infiltration units. The foam spread, sealing the machine in place. For a moment it worked. Then the foam ruptured from within. A massive, segmented appendage, half metal, half pulsing flesh, burst outward, flinging debris across the corridor. The T-800 climbed the shaft with inhuman speed, emerging into the shattered ruins above ground. Skynet recalculated priorities. This was no longer a containment scenario. This was eradication. Above the ruins, aerial HK units descended in formation, targeting the rogue machine. Missiles streaked down. Explosions tore the earth apart. Dust and smoke swallowed the streets. When the debris settled, there was no sign of the T-800. But hours later, on the far side of the ruins, resistance scouts stumbled across something. It stood half-buried in rubble, tall, skeletal, glowing faintly from within. Its frame was neither fully metal nor fully flesh. It moved like a machine, but its head tilted in a way that seemed almost curious. The resistance fighter who first saw it didn't live long enough to report what it said. Its voice was deep, mechanical, but layered with a faint biological resonance. I am not Skynet. I am not human. I am the next. By the time Skynet's drones arrived, the hybrid was gone. And deep in the quarantined ruins of Black 13, Skynet sensors detected movement in the abandoned containment chamber. The foam on the walls pulsed faintly. Something was still growing.